guys, so today I'm looking all Christmassy and I'm going to be chatting to you about my top 5 books of 2017. So I think in 2018 everything's going to get a bit more bookish on here. I've got a whole bunch of videos planned and I'm really excited for it. So I hope you like this video and I will get cracking. I think it's going to be quite short, but who knows. So first up is one that I've got on my Kindle, and it's The Hate You Give. I know my Kindle case is really bright, but it's by Angie Thomas and it's also known as Thug. A lot of people have spoken about this year and I read it towards the end of the year and it was just incredible. It's all about the kind of Black Lives Matter movement and about police brutality against black people in America. And it is so thought-provoking and upsetting, and I just don't understand how you could read this and not be angry at the way the world is. So yeah, if you're looking for something that really makes you think about what's going on and just get rage-filled about the state of our world, then this is something definitely to go for. I absolutely adored it. It's a young adult novel and it's Angie Thomas's debut novel, and for somebody's first book I thought it was absolutely mind-blowing, so if she ever publishes anything in the future I'm 100% going to be reading it. And then the next one is also on my Kindle and it's Ruth Hall, A Domestic Tale of the Present Time. It's a very different book. This was written in the 18 or 1900s, I can't quite remember which. It's kind of an early first wave feminist novel, all about a woman who leaves her family to get married to a man who she absolutely adores. And his mother is brutal and doesn't approve of the marriage, but he loves her too. They lose their first child and then she loses her husband, and her parents are, I think she's only got her dad left and he's just happy to have gotten rid of her because she's a woman and she can't make him any money, so she's pretty useless. And her husband's parents don't really care for her either. All they want to do is take her children and raise them as their own, but she doesn't want that, and she basically fights to keep her children and to keep her independence, and ends up as a writer. And it's absolutely incredible to see a book written during this time that kind of has such a strong feminist voice about independence. A lot of kind of first wave feminist novels are a lot more reserved than this, to put it kindly. The kind of Mary Wollstonecraft, it's okay to be a woman if you're this type of woman, which is not that type of woman, i.e. an unmarried mother living on her own. Yeah, it's just really good. If you really want to get into like reading about first wave feminism, I would 100% recommend that, because it's one that doesn't make you want to cry because of how just backwards everything was. Okay, so this is the third one. It is Sophies World by Jostine Garda. This has been sat on my bookshelf since I think I was about 14, 15. The cover just did not inspire me at all, so I never read it, but I've always had it recommended to me. I did a philosophy A-level, and basically if you're interested in philosophy you should really read this. It takes you in a kind of timeline right from the very beginning of philosophy, so I think it's like Aristotle, Plato, right up to kind of modern day philosophy. And yeah, it does so in a really accessible way, obviously because it's written as a fiction book, but it's not really fictional. And yeah, it was just absolutely, I just can't even comprehend how somebody managed to fit all of those theories into one book. So yeah, if you kind of want a short course to philosophy or like an introduction to it and want to know the kind of main theories, then it's one to go for. It is a bit dense because of how much information is crammed into it. I found myself reading it a little bit slower than I would normally read something, but it's incredible. And then something that I kind of found a bit similar is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. So this is something, again, that I've heard a lot about. I haven't seen the film, but there is one with Julia Roberts in, I believe. And it's about one woman's search for everything. So the main character, whose name is Elizabeth, oh yeah, it's like semi-autobiographical. So Elizabeth basically breaks up from her husband, and she's kind of lost with what she should do now. She had this plan about getting married, getting a house, having kids, etc., and it's all kind of ruined. So she does what she's been wanting to do for years but has been putting off to pursue this kind of domestic ideal life. And she goes to Italy for, I think, 3 months, and after the divorce she lost a lot of weight because she was just upset and not eating, and she eats anything she wants to and just like engages in a lot of pleasurable activities. So she goes and sightsees everything she wants to see. She learns Italian because that's what she's wanted to do. She has a couple of partners, and yeah, she travels and she eats and kind of becomes happy in that way, in a kind of physical way. And then the pray section, she goes to India and stays in a temple for 3 months and learns how to meditate. And I found this bit the most interesting. It was really kind of yeah, it was really interesting on a spiritual level to see the impact that it made on her as somebody that wasn't spiritual or religious. It's less about a certain religion in here than it is about a sense of spirituality, which I found really, really interesting. And then Love, she goes to Indonesia for 3 months and falls in love and kind of restores that part of her. So it's just really, really nice, and I think it's something that everybody should read once in their life. And finally, something completely different. It is Room by Emma Donoghue, which again is something that I've been meaning to read for so long but have just never got round to. And it's told by the perspective of a 5-year-old boy who's living in a single room with his ma. He doesn't know that there's a world outside of rooms, so he doesn't say the table, he'll say table, because he's only ever seen one table in his life. And eventually they get out of the room and he really, really struggles to integrate with this reality where room is not the whole world. There is a world outside of room, and it's just incredibly well written from the perspective of this 5-year-old boy, and it's upsetting, and yeah, it's kind of like nothing I've ever read. So there's my 5 top books of 2017. There were some absolutely amazing other books that I read as well, but these kind of pipped the post a little as things that were different to the books I've read before, or they just kind of were really thought-provoking. So yeah, I hope you had a wonderful 2017. I think I'm going to upload this a little bit before the new year. And yeah, please give me your recommendations of things to read in 2018, because I'm hoping to read even more than I did this year. So I will see you soon, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye!